All right, we're chilling. We should be good. The mic should be working. There was a little bit of a technical difficulty in the last stream. I don't know what happened. Something happened. Whatever. We're moving on. Guys, the Elimination Chamber just took place. Rhea Ripley main evented. It was a very cool moment at the end. At least I thought it was. But I'm gonna wait for some people to hop up in here. Let me know in the chat below. Is the mic working? I see I got a viewer in here, so let me know. Is the mic working? Because it should be. The mic should be working. Boom, said my man. My man. That's my dog. That's my dog. I knew we'd be good. I knew we'd be good. All right, guys. So the Elimination Chamber took place. It's early as fuck. My time. I'm going to be honest. Cool. Brandon, my boy. Brandon Dewey. That's my dog. That's my dog. Guys, it was an awesome show. I had a lot of fun during it. I've been up since 5 a.m., which is Eastern Standard Time. And let me tell you, I'm fighting for my fucking life right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a knockout. Yeah, said I feel that. After this, I'm going straight to sleep. Because I'm running on like 3 hours. Like those when you're sweating. That's what I got going on. It's hot. Too much happened. But yeah, no, the show overall, the one thing that I really want to talk about is Cody and Seth. That's like the number one thing for me right now coming out of the show. Cody and Seth, I mean, we kind of all seen it coming. But it looks like there is going to be some kind of tag team match, probably main eventing night one, if not taking place on night one. Then maybe you have Seth defend his title on night two with Cody and Roman main eventing that night. I mean, it just seems like a whole big mess. It was cool seeing that Cody finally explained why this happened, and he ended up giving The Rock his WrestleMania, what is it, WrestleMania main event, and then taking it directly back. So that was nice to see, because we needed that. We did. We needed it really, really badly. So I'm glad that they did that finally. Also, on top of all that, I mean, the show was just, it was fun, man. I mean, looking at Perth, Australia felt like a fucking movie. I'm gonna be honest with you, it really did. It felt like seeing the sunset. And here in Michigan, we don't have that. It don't look that beautiful. And I was like, man, oh man, like WWE, they are doing something special, man. They really, really are. To the people watching right now, I know it's probably either really late your time or really early your time. So I appreciate you tuning in. I wasn't expecting to necessarily go live for super long. I just really wanted to talk about the show. But guys, let me know in the chat below what you guys thought of the show. I want to read off the chat, talk to you guys a little bit. I know everybody had some mixed emotions coming out of this show. Austin Theory had a really cool spot, which I thought was cool. I think we set up him and Grayson Waller, and it looks like Grayson Waller might become a babyface. I don't know, man. I do not know, but it is very, very intriguing and it's very, very interesting, man. But man, they have some cool stuff going on in the WWE. I will be honest, it's exciting. It just seems like a good time. Uh said thoughts on the show. I'm tired. Yeah, man. I'm not kidding when I say that I'm fighting for my fucking life right now. I ordered some breakfast. I sat down, I watched the show. The men's match was insane. And the women's. I'll say both chamber matches lived up to the expectations that they were. I will be 100% honest. The men's match and all the setups that we got for that, I think we seen LA Knight and AJ Styles. That was cool, and it was very unexpected. Although it was very expected without thinking it was unexpected. Um, so like I wasn't necessarily banking on AJ Styles showing up here, but it's nice to see that they did. I definitely thought that they were going to go the Logan Paul. The Logan Paul LA Knight route, but it looks like they're taking a completely different route. Um, which is very, very interesting. Todd said, I've been up all night Central Time. It's even earlier here. Yeah, Todd, it's tough. It's tough. Said maybe we get a triple threat match. Now, my thought process with that is what happened at the end of that match with Randy Orton and Logan Paul. Everything that happened there, I was like, number one, that's awesome. Good for Logan Paul, man. That guy to get that spot with Randy Orton is huge. This guy has been put in numerous huge spots, and I think whether you like him or dislike him, I think Logan Paul needs to be credited. for the things that he does, because that guy is absolutely outstanding. I get it. He comes from YouTube. A lot of people, they're not fans of him. That guy is outstanding. Oh, yes, said Orton versus Paul versus KO. Yeah, no, I can see that all day long. Just the way that whole finish ended, insane. Insane. Also said, I'm gonna talk about her. Tiffy time. Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton, man. How good did she look tonight? Or this morning? I don't know. Whatever time it is your time. For me, it was this morning. So Tiffany Stratton looked great this morning. She was outstanding in that match, man. She was the standout here. And I felt like it was one of those situations where WWE, they couldn't put her over in this, or they couldn't have her win this match, but they could put her over in this match. And they did that. They gave her a spot with everybody. Yeah, said as always, she did. She looked outstanding, man. And that showing in front of 52,000 people, dude, come on. She deserved. We're gonna clap for her. We're gonna clap for her because she did absolutely outstanding, man. That girl, she is something special, and I think the WWE, they have something really cool going on with her. That division, I'll say it, and I'll keep on saying it. That women's division, no matter who's there, is so strong. The NXT women that they have, the women that they have on the main roster, it is so strong. I love it, man. I love it. And that match, like the it was cool because of how fast the finishes were. Like the sequences of the finish of both the men's and the women's was insane. Like everything just moved so quick. It went like Raquel, Liv Morgan, Becky, boom, winner. Becky wins. Same thing. It went Logan, Randy, Drew, really quick. So I mean, I love the way that they finished it. Both of those matches, they absolutely outstanding. My bad if I'm stumbling over words, y'all. I'm like I said, I'm fighting for my motherfucking life right now. I'm doing this strictly off of pure love because I love you guys and I told you guys I would go live. Um, but I mean, I really do appreciate you guys even just stopping in. I know you guys are probably fighting for your fucking lives too. Um, but it just goes to show how us Americans, we are very, very spoiled when it comes to the WWE. So it was nice. I'll say it, and I'll say it a bunch that, Australia, the UK, all of those countries, man, they definitely deserve the same love that we have going on over here. And dude, how cool would it have been to go to that show? Jake, what's going on, man? What's going on? I appreciate you stopping in. But man, going to that, like, I can't imagine. Like, that's regular day for those people. And for me, I'm like, dude, there's no fucking way. That shit looks like it is out of a movie. Uh, yeah, no, I said I don't even blame you, dude. I do not even blame you. Go take a nap. Go. My man said was struggling. He was struggling. Yeah, Jake, the Elimination Chamber was fire. I was a fan of the chamber. I was. Um, there were some things that maybe I would have done a little bit differently. Like Carlos may be in here, he may not be, but he messages me on Discord every so often. He'll give me his takes, and I'll read them, and I'll think about them and whatnot. But he did make a good point, kind of about Seth looking like Cody's henchman. I don't like that. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I love the idea that those two will be the ones to definitely dethrone Roman Reigns. So I think that's cool. Again, I'm just not a fan that Seth should have his moment at WrestleMania by himself. He doesn't need to join Cody or anything like that. I think Cody can finish this story by himself. Yeah, no, this was fucking an awesome show. I feel like they rushed the chamber matches after second eliminations. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Like I said, it moved really, really fast. It really did. Like the match was set up, it starts slow, and then after that second elimination, like you said, it really picks up after that. It really, really does. Um, but no, guys, if you guys are here, let me know in the chat. We'll probably stay live another 20 minutes again. I didn't plan on going live super long. I just really wanted to come talk to you guys. Staying up for that show was hard. It was very hard, but it did build a lot for WrestleMania, which I think is going to be huge because WrestleMania is literally right around the corner. And that one, we won't be up at 5:30 in the morning. It'll be in Philly, so it'll be my time, Eastern Standard Time. So back to being spoiled. Thankfully, we are going back to being spoiled. I don't know what they had going on, man, but that show was awesome. I seen Rhea Ripley's family was there, and it made me wonder. I was like, was Buddy Murphy there? Was he? Somebody let me know. Was Buddy Murphy there? Because he should have been. He definitely should have been. But yeah, overall, man, that show was just everything that I needed from it. I'll be honest. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't bad. But it did everything that it needed to do. It set up WrestleMania, started moving feuds forward, which is good. Finally got the answer that I've been, if you guys watch my channel, I have been nagging on about that Friday night where Cody just handed that shot over to The Rock and did not explain. That shit pissed me off. So glad that we finally got an answer to that. That's very, very good. So the card says 5:51 California time right now. I feel like it was worth to watch it at 2 a.m. Great show overall. The card, yeah, man, absolutely. I 100% agree. It was definitely a good show overall. I feel like Becky should have came out, told her I'll be waiting for you at WrestleMania, and shook hands. Yeah, no, because I think that would actually be a callback to what happened that Monday Night Raw, where Rhea Ripley came out and told her, she was like, I'll see you at Mania, when Becky kind of went on and explained how she just didn't feel like she had it in her anymore. And she was doubting herself, is really what it was. But 5:51 California time, huh? 5:51 a.m. I shouldn't be complaining because I woke up at 5 a.m. Like I still got some sleep. I just didn't get a lot. Like I fell asleep. I want to say midnight my time. Woke up about 5. I got about 5 hours of sleep. But it's still that idea that waking up at 5 in the morning is just insane. Insane. Guys, I want to know your guys' thoughts on the Elimination Chamber. Did you guys enjoy it? Did you not? Give me raw thoughts, man. Give me raw thoughts. I really want to know. Coming out of the show, what was everybody's take on it? Again, I was a fan for the most part. There were some things that I would have done differently. But overall, very good show. Whew. That show was something, man. It was something. Logan Paul, I can't stress it enough how they made him look like a damn star tonight. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. He looked like a damn star, and I'm a fan of it. Randy Orton, I thought actually hurt his back. I really did, which he may have. Again, there's obviously not anything coming out yet, but there's a chance that Randy Orton may have hurt his back because there was one spot where it looked like he really did. And that RKO out of nowhere on the Logan Paul, insane spot, insane. Also, I want to ask you guys in the chat, did Randy ever hold the United States Championship? Because that would be awesome if Logan dropped that belt to Randy Orton, if he hasn't won it, because I can't remember a time where Randy Orton won the United States Championship, which then takes away from him being like the Triple Crown champion or whatever the case is. However, WWE books it. I cannot remember a time where he actually won that belt. I know he's held the Intercontinental, he's held the tag team, he's done all that. I think the only one that's eluded his career, kind of the same as Sheamus, was the United States Championship. A couple of matches building up. Randy versus Logan. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Randy versus Logan. Mentioned it in the chat. Possibly Kevin Owens. Amazing. AJ versus LA Knight. Yeah, talk to me a little bit. AJ versus LA Knight. AJ entering the chamber, I thought was a great little tidbit. Definitely needed. I think those two feuding. I think it's great. It's great for business to have those two feud because those two, AJ Styles and LA Knight, I mean, both kind of wandered like in the space of like they're both very over and they need something huge to do. So this is one way for them to do it. So yeah, man, absolutely outstanding. Phil says, I thought it was a great chamber. Felt like a bigger pay-per-view than I thought it was. Yeah, Phil, I'll throw this up on the screen actually. Yes, it really, really was. 52,000 people. I think I mentioned it because I know back in January they had like 45,000 tickets sold, which even then is a crazy number to do right before a WrestleMania. So they went over to a different country, pretty much put on a WrestleMania type event because of the pyro and all that for this country, and completely just they did everything that they needed to. Absolutely outstanding. Brandon, the thoughts on triple threat for the heavyweight title between Seth, Drew, and Sammy. Brandon, that's yeah, no, that's actually a really good question. So I'll tell you what. I wondered what they were gonna do with Sammy this whole time because we know he's chasing some kind of title. Um, there's obviously the thought that it could possibly be the Intercontinental Championship, although I do believe that Gunther and Chad Gable should have that spot. But the idea that a triple threat with Sammy, Seth, and Drew, I think I think you need again, it depends what this WrestleMania is going to be, right? Is it going to be one of those WrestleManias where we have the one letdown and the one big surprise? Because if it's the one letdown, Sammy not winning a title would be a very big letdown because of the way he's being booked online or on TV right now. Sammy's being booked so highly right now, and he looks so outstanding, and he looks so good. And yeah, no, I think that match would be huge. I think that could main event night one. If I'm being honest with you, I really do. I would like to see that be the case, but obviously, you never know. You never know. Sammy winning the heavyweight title would be fucking insane. It really would. The place would go bonkers, dude. It would. It really would. Um, the card says I think Damian cashes in at WrestleMania. Right after that match. Yeah, no, I do believe that we see Damian finally cash in that belt, and then obviously we'll see the breakup of the Judgment Day following WrestleMania because Damian has the title. People get jealous. I mean, it's cool because what's happening is we're getting a lot of payoffs at WrestleMania, and I think that's going to be the case. Is that a lot of payoffs happen, but they're going to continue storylines that we think would end right around this time. They're going to continue those. So like the Judgment Day, for instance, we all thought like, oh, WrestleMania, it'll be Finn versus Damian. That's not going to be the case. They look stronger than ever right now. But what's going to happen is Damian is eventually going to cash that in, whether he fails or whether he wins. It doesn't matter because either way, it creates jealousy within the group. So I definitely see that being one of the cases here soon. And I'm really big on Triple H's booking in that regard. Is like he holds on to things and he's not just giving you the payoff when you want it. He's making you wait for it, which I'm a huge fan of. The card says, and if that does happen, Finn will turn on him. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is Damian will become a babyface. Damian is destined to be a babyface in this regard. He always worked really well as a babyface. The guy is awesome. People want to cheer him. Finn can play either or. Finn, I like as a babyface too, but I like him even better as a heel because he's more of a jackass almost is what it is. Jacob says Billy plugged the cord, put a voting poll on there on the PLE. I'm at work, so I'm going lurk mode. Jacob, I appreciate you just being here, but yeah, I will plug the cord real fast. So hold on 1 second. We're gonna plug the Discord, guys. Yes, we do have a Discord that you guys can come join. You can come hang out with me. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat, and I'll let you guys whenever it wants to open. Again, guys, I am over here fighting for my damn life right now. But dude, what a show. How fun, man. How fun. Jacob, you're at work. That's insane. That means you watched that thing at work, which is wild within itself. I do appreciate all you guys. And yeah, no, we're not doing any spoilers or anything like that inside the chat. So inside Discord, like it's all fun, man. We're just trying to have a good time, talk about wrestling in there, and we could take this conversation that we have here and move it over. So let me boom. All right. Yeah, Phil. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to drop this really fast, and then I'm about to talk about that. There's a link for you guys. I'll show it up there. So you guys can join the Discord if you would like, man. It's a lot of fun. We're having a great time. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So Phil says, I love the heat on Dom, even in Australia. That heat on Dominic Mysterio was insane. It was the loudest I've ever heard it. They sounded like they hated that man. Like legitimately hated him. That's the type of heat. And dude, if you think for 1 second WWE did not see that and be like, what the fuck was that? You're out of your mind because that was insane. It was, dude, everything. Jacob says, no, I got up at 4, watched the main event, ended as I pulled up to my first job. I work for Dish, LOL. Oh, so you work for Dish, the cable company? That's sick, dude. That's sick. You install cable? The card says meet and greet in San Jose, California. Cricket Wireless store Jay Uso will be there, and I will be at the San Jose show come Monday. Boom. The card. The card is going to be at the show on Monday because, yes, they will be in San Jose, California, which I can imagine they're just taking a flight back into the States to land in California. They set that up for themselves, and they set it up very, very well. I'm not going to lie to you because obviously the closest state to Australia would be California. So they're just going to land there, spend some time in California, get back into life and whatnot. So, now that's cool. That's cool. Are you going to go meet Jay? Because that's sick if you are. I know here we had during SummerSlam, we had Rhea Ripley. She was she was actually near me. She was very close. She was very close. I didn't end up going, but she was definitely close. But yeah, no, that show, um, again, just sets up a lot for WrestleMania, which is huge right now because that's obviously what's needed. It WrestleMania, they're booking it as it's a huge show, XL. So it needs to be the best WrestleMania of all time. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The way that they're calling it, setting it up, it has to be outstanding. Has to be. The card. Yes, I will be there. It's free. I'm gonna grab a pic and have him sign my belt. That's sick. That's sick as hell. Here's Carlos. Guys, we talked about Carlos a little bit ago. He said, "Am I wrong for thinking Elimination Chamber was such lackluster for everything going the way it seemed like it would? Why would Triple H do an interview saying there were surprises set in stone, set in store?" So, Carlos, I know you and I chat every so often. So, I'll tell you what. Predictability sometimes is the best route to go in circumstances like this. I know not everybody wants predictability, and I understand why they don't want predictability. But in this case, predictability is good because it's different, right? You have to think. So, Carlos, you being upset, I'm not going to say complaining, you being upset at the fact that everything made sense, right? Is something 3 years ago we would not have been able to do. 3 years ago, we were super excited that Cesaro was getting his first one-on-one WrestleMania main event. You got or not main event, but match. Do you guys remember that Cesaro taking on Seth Rollins? Do you guys remember how excited we were that somebody other than the regular person was just getting his first singles match at WrestleMania? This was I want to say it was in 2021. And then we had the women main event, Sasha and Bianca. So looking at that and thinking about how right now everything makes sense, but it's predictable is probably the best thing in the world because regardless whether it's predictable or not, it all is new. It's refreshing. So again, I think that's one of those things where not every point in wrestling is going to make everybody happy. Some people are going to be upset. Some people will find a way to trip out about it. But at the end of the day, WWE is in such a good place right now that it doesn't necessarily matter who feels what because regardless, they're doing the right thing for what they think is good and people are gravitating towards it. Uh Carlos says, I can agree that predictability can be good, but I don't think that's good for this. WrestleMania that they're trying to hype up as the biggest ever at this point feels like not as good as last year. Yeah, see, and I'll be honest, Carlos, I think last year's was okay. I will say it wasn't my favorite. Now, obviously, again, I've said numerous times, my own personal thoughts are that Roman holding on to that belt after WrestleMania was a horrible decision. I know, Carlos, you feel different towards that, but I genuinely think it was a horrible decision just off the mere fact of what we had going forward. I think we could have given Cody the belt in that moment and been fine and just moved on forward. We could have got Rock and Roman in the main event this year and we would have been fine. And yeah, I mean, there's just so many things that should have happened that did not happen at that WrestleMania, but they are doing everything in their power to right the wrongs that they wrote last year. And I think that this year you will see it. And then next year we'll get the Rock and Roman match that everybody wants, which I'm okay with, man. I'm so okay with Rock and Roman taking place next year. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Phil says Liv Morgan in the chamber was awesome. Besides Tiffany Stratton, she stole the show in the women's chamber match. Phil, hell yeah, dude. I talked about it a little bit in the beginning of the stream. Tiffany Stratton was my favorite competitor inside of that Elimination Chamber. She really was. She just outstanding in every single regard. I will be very, very honest with you. She did everything that she was supposed to do. Liv Morgan, by the way, looked very good as well. Seeing Becky win was obviously very predictable and okay in my eyes. But no, man, I will be so honest. Tiffany Stratton was just my personal favorite coming out of that. Made me an even bigger fan than I already was. So very, very excited for Tiffany Stratton. Oh, guys, Mufasa is lurking in the background. If you guys do not know, my cat, that's King Moof. Yeah, no, that's the guy. He's back here lurking on my TV stand. So Carlos says, it sucks that as a wrestling fan, not to be invested in the top matches. The mid card has to be great now with having main event matches that I don't care for. So Carlos, let me ask you, just because you may not be invested, does that mean that everybody else is not invested? Because there's probably been numerous things where you've been very invested to that other people may not have been. You know, it's just one of those situations where it's like, all right, well, I'll wait around until it's my turn. You know what I mean? Because my turn will eventually come. I'll like something eventually. So you just kind of wait it out till then. That's how I look at it, at least. That's 100% how I would do it. But guys, the Elimination Chamber was awesome, man. It was awesome. Also, guys, if you would like, I will say, if you would like, feel free to leave a super chat, man. It is definitely appreciated. Just donating to the channel, man. I put it all back into the channel, and I really do appreciate your guys' time. You guys can become a member of the channel. There's so many cool things going on. So many cool things going on inside of the WWE. And obviously, WrestleMania is right around the corner. And I think we're going to do something special for WrestleMania. I'm not 100% sure yet exactly what we're going to do, but it will be exciting. Also, guys, I'm going to be over on TikTok a little bit more too. I'm going to try pushing my TikTok and hopefully moving us over here a little bit more and making this platform even bigger than it already is, man. Carlos says, I really don't feel any different than I did after the Rumble pay-per-view. Yeah, I mean, that's okay, Carlos. Again, right now in wrestling, for you at least, from what I'm hearing, for you, it's just one of those situations where just you're not a fan of what's going on, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with being upset of things that are currently going on. It is perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with it. And eventually, like I said, something will spark your interest. I think. I genuinely do. Guys, we've had some people show up, hang out. I really do appreciate you guys. Like more than you know. I'll be very, very honest. You guys have showed up for me in numerous ways that I cannot thank you guys enough, man. Who do you think Tiffany Stratton faces going forward? I think Naomi. I think Naomi will be her first feud, which I'm a huge fan of, by the way. Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. I think because Naomi got eliminated in that little spot that they had in the match where Naomi made that face towards her and that sarcastic, I'm sorry. Tiffany is outstanding, dude. She is. But I think Naomi's going to be her first feud. So Carlos says, I guess congrats to people who will be invested in those top matches at WrestleMania. Hopefully there's better stuff after WrestleMania. That's the only positivity I can have at the moment. Yeah, Carlos, that's okay. There is nothing wrong with you feeling the way that you do, man. There is nothing wrong with it. Guys, I see we got 16 viewers in here right now, so thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, feel free, if you're not already, feel free to subscribe to the channel, man. It helps out a bunch. That really is all I ask for from you guys is just subscribe to the channel, man, because we are doing cool things over here. Again, WrestleMania is approaching, and I do have some cool things eventually set up for WrestleMania. It's going to be a good time, man. It's going to be a very, very, very good time. Also, guys, I'm going to be over on TikTok a lot. I said it a moment ago. I'm going to try and do some TikTok content, man. Why not? Why not, you know? Because TikTok, it's very, very simple to gain traction. I'm not going to lie to you guys. TikTok may be the easiest platform when it comes to trying to get people invested and move them over here to YouTube. YouTube's not the easiest. YouTube, we are doing our thing. But guys, Elimination Chamber, Carlos is letting me know his thoughts. I want to get your guys' thoughts. I want to know, what did you guys think of the show? I'm seeing, I can imagine some people are waking up and probably tuning into this, which is insane. Um, but yes, no, fighting for my life currently. So tired. Do not know what's going on anymore. Just kind of here, having a good time, man. Just having a good time. But yes, Phil, Tiffany Stratton. I think she's going to take on Naomi. I think that will be a great feud. I think obviously, I personally think that Raquel and Liv Morgan will be a feud to look forward to. Um, Carlos says, "All right, so I want to get your guys' thoughts on this." Carlos says, "By the way, Billy, last year's WrestleMania ended up being a top 6 WrestleMania for me. So let me ask you guys a question. What is your top WrestleMania? Like, what would be your top WrestleMania of all time? Because top 6 out of 39 is crazy. Because I don't even think, even with Cody, it did that for me. I'll be honest." James, good morning, Billy. I loved Elimination Chamber. Rhea Ripley was awesome. She was. She was. The Riptide, too. The Riptide on Nia Jax. Come on now. And Nia, I think we need to pay attention to Nia as well. Nia, years ago, we were shitting on, and I heard the chants, the whole chants, which I thought were hilarious, by the way. But looking at Nia in her position right now, I think it needs to be brought to attention that that girl, she is something special now. And her leaving was probably one of the best things that could have happened to her. Her leaving and coming back, and then obviously main eventing in Australia, which she mentioned at the press conference that she was born in Australia, in Sydney, which is crazy. You know, both of these girls main eventing in places, one was born in, the other one, the other was raised in, is outstanding. And I think it needs to be brought to attention, man. That Nia Jax, she looked outstanding in that. What she does going forward, I don't know. I think she still kind of sits in that main event spot with probably doing something with Becky Lynch to get us there. It's going to be awesome. Phil says, dude, I follow you in Ango. I used to live in Detroit. It's cool to see you guys are some of my favorite wrestling content creators. Phil, dude, that's fucking sick, bro. That's sick. Yeah, no. Here in Detroit, man, a little bit outside. He's more east. I'm more west of Detroit. But no, man, that's sick. That is sick, dude. I love seeing shit like that. Thank you so much, man. It's awesome hearing that I'm somebody's favorite. That is insane. All right, so here's Carlos's top 6. Here's Carlos's. He says top 6 for me is WrestleMania 17, 19, 21, 28, and 3. WrestleMania 33, he missed putting. So that's not a bad list. That's not a bad list. 21 was obviously a very 21 was definitely like when things shifted. For me, I'll tell you my top WrestleMania of all time was actually here in Detroit, and it's a biased opinion, but yeah, no, John Cena versus Shawn Michaels. I mean, outstanding stuff, dude. Outstanding stuff. The storylines going into that, seeing Triple H got hurt right before that WrestleMania because it was supposed to be John Cena and Triple H in the main event, but Shawn Michaels ended up taking over, and they put on like an hour banger, dude. The Undertaker and Batista. So yeah, that was here in Detroit, actually. So there's definitely a biased opinion to that. But I will say, I think my personal, like, non-biased would be 21. 21 just shifted the way wrestling was going out of the Attitude Era into the new era, I think. So they did absolutely outstanding. You guys are showing out for me at, what time is it? 9:15 in the morning. That's insane. That is insane. So I appreciate everybody who's been in here. Now I'm kind of awake. Now I should probably just get a water, truth be told, and just thug the rest of this day out. That's how I'm looking at it. Carlos said WrestleMania 39, not 3. Oh, okay. Okay. So Carlos was talking in the sense that he put WrestleMania 33 and he meant 39 because he didn't put WrestleMania 39, which was the original conversation. He didn't mention that in his list. He did not. But guys, again, let me know, everybody, because I see there's people hanging out watching. Feel free to comment, man. I'm answering all the comments in the chat below. Don't be embarrassed, man. We're having a good time. It's fun. Let me know your guys' thoughts. I want to get everybody's thoughts on the Elimination Chamber. I want to let everybody know who is watching to feel free to drop a comment. It most likely will be read, man. You guys have changed my life. So if I could just be nice enough and kind enough to just give back a little bit, this is my one way of trying to give back. Also, guys, I'll mention it one more time. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe for more content, man. I'm making content daily. I'm doing the best that I can here. I work a full-time job just like you guys and just trying to make this thing happen. Trying to make this thing happen, man. All right, back to it. All right. Carlos says WrestleMania 20 had such great potential, but undelivered in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, WrestleMania 20 was a very good show for what it was. It was a great show. And but yeah, no, like you said, it had a lot of potential. I think John Cena opening up that WrestleMania was insane. Very, very good stuff. So we got 20 people live right now. That's crazy. That's crazy. At 9:15 in the morning. Guys, I appreciate you so much for even just wanting to be here right now. It warms my heart. It really, really does. But yes, let me know everybody's thoughts on the Elimination Chamber. Do not be afraid because I'm over here expressing mine. I want to get all your guys's. We can have a conversation about it. Again, don't be shy. Show up in the chat, man. Show up in the chat. We can have a good time. Mufasa's here. I'm here. We're hanging out. I don't know what the rest of the day looks like, to be honest with you. I have no idea. I know I'm probably going to make some TikTok content after this probably, and then might take a nap. I feel like a nap is needed. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The more I'm sitting here thinking about it, I said a minute ago that I was going to thug this day out. I don't think there's a chance in hell I'm going to thug this day out. I think I'm taking a nap. Especially knowing I got the day off work. Yeah, taking a nap for sure. But guys, if you would like, drop down in the chat. Other than that, I don't really have much. Javon says, was scrolling, saw the Detroit shirt in the thumbnail, so I stopped. Thought it was a decent show. As me curious how the U.S. title picture would go. Yeah, Javon. So Detroit has been a big thing, huh? Yeah. No, I'm definitely from Detroit. I live in Detroit. That's awesome, guys. I'm glad that my city is sparking interest. So yeah, no, I think we talked about it a little bit ago in the chat. I do think that what is it? It's going to be Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Logan Paul. I think Randy Orton walks away with the title because he never won it. Javon, you're from Ann Arbor. Javon, fun fact. I'm right next to you. I'm in Ipsy. That's awesome. That is awesome, man. Jacob says, I've got 3 installs and 4 service calls, and then I'm helping my buddy move while I woke up at 4. I'm thugging hard as a mofo today. Yeah, Jacob. Yeah. Do you want to talk about thugging it out? Waking up at 4 is crazy. Crazy. Are you okay, dude? I hope so. Because I am struggling right now. Like harder than I think I've ever struggled. But that show was awesome, man. It really was. It was worth waking up as early as I did. It definitely was. It needed to be. So yeah, no. Very cool stuff. Javon is right next to me, man. How crazy is that? This guy lives down the street. But yeah, guys. Cool stuff. Cool stuff, man. If you guys got any last minute comments, I'll wait for them. Other than that, we'll probably get off stream, call it a day, probably make a video later. And yeah, no, very cool stuff. Actually, same city now, LOL. Yeah, Javon, isn't that funny? That's awesome, man. If you're not subscribed to the channel, dude, subscribe. Jacob says, I've got 2 kids and I used to stay up for a couple days at a time. This is child's play for me. Yeah, Jacob, that is child's play, man. That definitely is. DGE22, I have to wake up at 5 to go to work, so this isn't that hard for me. DGS, excuse me. I said DGE. DGS, where are you at? Where exactly are you? Phil said, I love Kevin Owens throwing Logan Paul through the chamber. Huge spot. I actually tweeted out, guys, which if you guys want, you can follow me over on Twitter, which I'll drop as well. I tweeted out, I added Logan Paul. I said, did you die? Because Logan Paul, when he got speared, I was like, holy shit. That spear with Bobby Lashley, I was like, that looked like it hurt a little bit. Oh, there was also another match that I did not talk about that I probably should talk about because it was very good. Well then, here we go. If you guys would like, Go follow me on Twitter too, man, because Twitter's cool. But there's another match that I didn't talk about, and it was the Judgment Day taking on Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. I can't remember off the top of my head because it sounds like a lot of words right now to think about. But they do have a cool tag team name. It's I think Corey Graves said it on commentary. He said it sounds like a place where my wife shops for her clothes, which I thought was funny. I got a kick out of that. Michael says, I get up at 4 every day except today, but I caught the end and made sure to check you out. Michael, man. Michael always shows up, man. And Michael, I want to show you some love, dude. Michael, you are absolutely outstanding. I see you comment on every video, man, and you are awesome, dude. I know you came from Mango's channel as well, so I just honestly appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you big time, my man. Carlos says, Billy, how would you rate the WrestleMania? The WrestleManias I've gone to: WrestleMania 28, 32, and 33. So 28 was a good one. I want to say that was the first time we seen Rock and Cena, and then having Cena lose was a great idea in that moment. Just looking back at what they did the following year, having Cena win and whatnot. 32 was great for me because of Zack Ryder. I'll be honest with you. Zack Ryder winning, and even though he only held it for a day, was amazing. Kevin Abreu. Curvin, excuse me. Sorry, guys, if I'm botching these names. Women's Elimination Chamber delivers, but everything else was bad. Yeah, no, some people felt that way. I will say that not everybody thought this was such an exciting show, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Me personally, yes, the Women's Chamber was my favorite match of the night as well. I thought Tiffany Stratton looked outstanding. New Catch Republic. Thank you, everybody. It is the New Catch Republic. They put on a outstanding show. Kervin, what was your favorite era to watch wrestling? So I grew up, I started watching in 2004. So, that time era from 2004 to, for me, 2000, probably 7, 8. I thought those eras was 2009 wasn't even bad either. Just I want to say towards the wits end of Shawn Michaels' career is kind of when wrestling kind of went downhill for me because they went into the PG era after that, obviously. But I think Shawn Michaels was huge. Randy Orton, I've always been a fan of, so I loved watching Randy when he was younger. So that was definitely my favorite time. I know a lot of people will say the Attitude Era, but I didn't grow up in the Attitude Era time. I grew up in the Ruthless Aggression era, so per se. But now I think, truth be told, if you want me to be 100% honest with you, looking at wrestling from a whole right now is the hottest it's ever been. They just went to a different country and sold 53,000 tickets for a pay-per-view in February. That's insane. So you ask me, wrestling is the hottest it's ever been right now. Regardless whether people like the show or not, it was absolutely outstanding all the way around, man. Honestly. What do we got going on? Cool show, man. It was a cool show. A lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And yeah, no. All right. I know I said this before, but I'll probably stay on a couple more minutes. So if you guys have some last minute things to get out, go ahead and get them out. I'll answer them really fast. I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. You guys have been nothing short of awesome. Kind of like the Miz would say. Which, by the way, I think we'll see the Miz and R-Truth win those tag belts at WrestleMania. That's just my honest opinion. I think that's what we're going to get at WrestleMania. Again, guys, going for a couple more minutes. Sadly, there was no Robin in the chat. Robin, I seen was up. I seen him on Twitter. He was doing his thing. My take is he passed out, which I would not blame him because I am ready to pass out. My word. Then try and put some water in me and see how today will go. Running on 5 hours of sleep, hanging out. Jacob said, at Billy. What's up, Jacob? What's going on? What is going on? Guys, I know Ango will be live probably later. I'm not 100% sure. I talked to him during the show. I think he will be live at some point. Brandon says, out of all out of all the events supposed to take place at WrestleMania, which one catches your interest the most? Um, I mean, the obvious answer is Cody and Roman. But I will say I like the idea of Rhea and Becky. That sparks my interest a lot, especially coming out in the night. I thought the women looked very, very strong, which is outstanding. The women deserve it. Jacob says, when you get time, link me your socials and what resolution you stream at. Want to start a project. Jacob, sounds good. Yeah, I'll send you something. I'll send you. Phil says, I love the Grayson Waller effect. It felt big. Big as well. Had Jericho highlight real vibes when they were on pay-per-view. Yeah, so obviously the Jericho highlight reel way back when, it would every so often be on a pay-per-view, but man, oh man, did they do their damn thing with this Grayson Waller effect and him and Tai Tuivasa. Tai Tuivasa, I'm a big UFC guy. Tai Tuivasa being there is fucking awesome. That shit was so cool to me. So shout out to WWE and the UFC doing cool shit for us WWE UFC fans who get the feel of them both. Which I thought about maybe covering some UFC stuff, guys. If you guys are interested in UFC, I would like to possibly just cover wrestling and MMA. It was just an idea that I had because I know right now I only talk about the WWE and whatnot, but I do have interest in the UFC. So if you guys want me to cover that, let me know because the UFC, they're doing some cool shit over there too. I know they have UFC 299 coming up, and the card looks fucking stacked, and it's the day before my birthday. So I don't know. Might stream after it. Never know. Brandon says, I love all the potential we have going into WrestleMania. The possibilities are endless, and it's honestly amazing. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, it's fucking... Dude, those possibilities are endless. Jacob says, I'm not going to say the first one in AEW. You guys can read the chat. I'm not going to say that one. But he said in WWE, they do shoeies. Hell yeah. That shit is disgusting. I am not going to lie to you. You can't tell me otherwise that shit is not gross because it is. Michael says, been watching wrestling for 40 years. This is my favorite era ever. So many top stars that logically could be world champ. Michael, hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. 40 years is... Whew. All right. All right, Michael. I see you, dog. But yes, I do agree. This is 1000% the best era that wrestling has ever gone through. No matter what you say, no matter what you feel about it, this is the best era. Carlos says, with the matches, it seems like we're getting at WrestleMania. Does it really look like it will be biggest of all time compared to the matches originally planned? That will not happen. Now, Carlos, that's unfair to say because we don't know if things were 100% originally planned. And obviously, things can switch. Obviously, if you guys have never heard the saying, card is what? Subject to change. Phil says, me too. I love the UFC. Yeah, Phil, I'm a huge UFC guy. I love talking about it. It's a lot of fun. I have another buddy who is very big into it, and we sit on the phone all the time. It's not Ango, but I do have another buddy who maybe I could get on here and we could talk some UFC. It's up to you guys, man. It's up to you guys. Jump in. Jeff Former says, I want to say, no, is it Farmer? Farmer. He said, yep, probably the grossest thing I've seen. Yep, them shoeies are fucking disgusting. You cannot tell me otherwise. I get it's your thing. Still fucking gross. He says they turned the shoe in the wrong way. Isn't that foul? Phil says he's down for some UFC content. Hell yeah, dude. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's try doing some UFC content then. Maybe we'll do some live streams following the card or whatever, we'll talk about it. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do it, but I may come up with something because the UFC is fucking sick. And obviously them being partnered with the WWE now, it makes sense. It doesn't throw my channel off or throw the content down the drain. I guess we're going to go for a whole hour here. That's what it's looking like. We're going for a full hour. You guys have been nothing short of outstanding. People asking me so many questions, man. So many damn questions. Again, guys, let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the Elimination Chamber. Obviously, there was no Rock, there was no Roman Reigns. A lot of questions lingering around that. I don't know why. But I have so many questions when it comes to the World Heavyweight Championship and that match and how they're going to do it, considering Drew won the Elimination Chamber, but then Seth told Cody that he's got his back. And it's like, how do they do this? How are they going to go about it? Nobody fucking knows. Honestly, nobody fucking knows. I'm shook. I cannot believe I've had the power to power through this. You guys actually are the reasons why I powered through this. I'm going to be honest with you. Dakota Slays, Logan Paul losing to Randy Orton at Mania. Boom. Yes. Yes. 100%. Randy Orton, from my understanding, has not won the United States Championship. And I know Logan Paul is a big Randy fan, and Randy is also a big fan of Logan. But I do think that Randy winning that title, I think that's just one of those things that you cement him more if you haven't become a Triple Crown champion. So yes, I do believe Logan Paul will lose to Randy Orton, but I also believe that Kevin Owens will be a part of that match as well. So Carlos says, you will laugh at this, Billy, but cannot put this era over Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Era strictly because of Cody being top guy. It's a good era, just can't put it over better ones. So yeah, Carlos, I mean, that just all depends. You know, that's biased, obviously. You have to look at what WWE is doing now and understand that logically it is the biggest thing. It is the biggest thing that has ever happened in the WWE. They are on a roller coaster. Regardless, they needed a top guy like Cody, and Cody just so happened to fall in their lap. That's what happened. Cody just fell in their lap. Dakota says, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like Randy will break Cena and Flair's record. He says he's going for 10 more years. There's always that chance. You know, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. My bad, guys. I'm trying to fix this here. Yeah, so, I mean, there is that. Randy has been the guy who has stayed true to the WWE all the way. We have 14 viewers in here, by the way, which is how many titles Randy has actually had. WWE titles, that is. 14. So he's obviously not far from Cena and Flair's record. I think we've talked so much about Cena breaking the record that we forget somebody who's still very active in the WWE, and that's Randy Orton. Randy Orton is still the most active star in the WWE on pace to break that record in the modern day era. So I don't know. That'll be cool. I'd love to see Randy win it because, guys, I will be honest and I will vocalize it till the cows come home. Randy Orton is my favorite wrestler of all time. He is. I get it. Some people think he's basic, blah, blah, blah. I think he has, like, his arc in his character, outstanding stuff. I think he has the best character of all time. That guy deserves the world. I'll be 100% honest with you guys. And seeing him still go to this day, awesome, dude. Awesome stuff, man. Awesome shit. Very good show, dude. Very fucking good show. Oh, yep. There's that morning stretch. There's no way I just did that on a live stream. But Dakota says, I won't lie, I felt like Liv should have won the chamber only because she has the strongest story to tell with Rhea. Dakota, so I will say that Becky winning it's not all that bad because obviously they are telling the story with Becky and Rhea, but I won't fully disagree with this because Liv does have a very strong story, but I think we're going to get more of a villain arc with Liv, which I'm okay with, by the way. Having that villain arc with Liv Morgan will be nice. I think her and Raquel Gonzalez will have a feud together. Obviously, there's a story to tell there with those two. And again, it's okay. We can have more than one women's match. You know what I mean? Like, these women are killing it, dude. They really are. Carlos says, we'll never agree they needed Cody. I still fully believe the last few years would have been better without him. Sammy deserved that top spot last year. I was so invested in that until they messed it up. Yeah, Carlos, guys, was a huge fan of the Sammy stuff, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I always knew that Sammy was destined for the tag titles with Kevin Owens. But yeah, that's okay, Carlos. Nothing wrong with that. Phil says Randy is the best telling stories in his matches and his promos. Hot take. Phil, that's not a hot take. People will say it is, but it's not. It's really not. Randy is the best when it comes to that. Whether people like to believe it or not, that guy has an arc. And in wrestling, an arc is a good thing. Dakota says, I missed a lot. Did Liv eliminate Raquel? From my understanding, Liv eliminated Bianca, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But she did. No, I know she did not eliminate Raquel, but I do believe that there is some kind of story to be told there. Obviously, now with her eliminating Bianca, there's that story to tell with Bianca. But right after Liv eliminated who it was, okay, Javon said I was right. Thank you, Javon. Javon, did you get up at 5 a.m. too? Because now knowing we're from the same area, Javon, I have to ask, did you get up at the same time? Bianca eliminated Raquel. Okay. All right. So I was right. So Liv did eliminate Bianca, which is huge, by the way. Bianca is so over right now in the WWE, and they are doing so many cool things with her, man. They really, really are. Dakota says, and I stand by this, I think all around Randy is the greatest talent in WWE history. I agree. I agree 1000%. Randy Orton he's just the best. There's no telling otherwise. That guy gets it and he knows what he's doing. So yeah, no, Randy is definitely the best talent in WWE history. Guys, I will tell you, if you're new here and you're watching this, feel free to subscribe for more content, man, because I am making content every single day, not letting my foot off the gas. We're going every single day, even on days like today, where you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you treat it like a work day, and you get it done. Dakota said, this is funny. Bald Randy was a menace. I agree. You remember that punt era where he was just punting the shit out of people? Because I didn't forget. That shit was crazy. Phil says, I actually think Liv and Raquel as a heel tag team would be awesome. I agree. Phil, that would be a sick tag team. Because they definitely need, but I understand that they're going to try and build some tag teams for that division, hopefully. Oh, Javon. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Well, 3:30, so I didn't miss the pre-show. I'm hurting right now, and by the way, Javon is a girl. Okay. All right. We got it, Javon. I apologize for that as well. But 3:30 in the morning, insane. I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my motherfucking life. I will be so honest. Sammy was only destined for tag titles because WWE chose Cody over him, which is the travesty for me. Roman versus Sammy should have gotten way better and longer build up than it got leading into their match. Carlos, that's fair. That's fair. Javon put a little laughing emoji. Yeah, Javon, I feel like a piece of shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now I feel bad. Now I feel like a piece of shit. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you letting me know. Dakota says, I will say I wouldn't hate Rhea winning at Mania and dropping it to Liv at SummerSlam. Yeah, I think Liv eventually winning that belt will be huge. Although she won the SmackDown Women's title as like a huge baby face, but I think her holding it as a heel would be insane. Phil says, I think Cody is so good now because he learned so much from Randy. Yes, I 100% agree. I think whether you like to believe it or not, Cody takes so much away from Randy and those two, the way that they mesh. And that story, when eventually it does take place, will probably be just as big as this Roman and Cody story, if I'm being honest. Because the deeper you dive into that story, the more real it is, and the more real life it is. Which in my pro wrestling, I'm not sure how you guys feel about it, but I love real life scenarios being brought up. Dakota says, if Cody loses at Mania, then it was pointless. Yeah, I agree. It was all pointless if Cody loses at Mania. It really is. Guys, I got another minute or so on here. I want to get all your guys' thoughts. Let me know down in the comment section below. I want to know what you guys thought of the show. I appreciate all you guys. I think we peaked at like 23 or 24 viewers, something along those lines. But you guys have been outstanding. Thank you so much for kicking it with me, hanging out. Just outstanding, man. Outstanding stuff. All right, so Carlos says, I think it's weird, by the way, calling Orton the greatest talent when I think he had some very lackluster WrestleMania matches when he should have stepped up most. Yeah, regardless of what you think, his career has been the best. It's one of the longest. It's one of the most definitive. I'll argue that till the cows come home. So no matter what you think about his WrestleMania matches or whatever the case, he has stepped up and he's been the guy, in my personal opinion. He's been the guy. And he'll always be the guy. Appreciate Randy. But guys, that's all I got for today. Again, feel free to, where's it at? Oh, we got one more. Matthew Buchanan. Hopefully Cody Rhodes faces The Rock when he is champion and retains. That would be awesome to see Cody Rhodes have a title defense against The Rock and win after Cody Rhodes finishes the story. Matthew, I think we're going to see him and Seth Rollins take on The Rock and Roman night 1 of WrestleMania. But I do like that idea. It's not a bad one. Carlos said, I could say I don't think Orton has had one classic WrestleMania match in his career. It depends how you define classic, because I can name numerous, in my personal opinion. Very, very huge moments, too. They've just been played out by other big moments. That's all. Dakota says, I feel Solo will do the same spot as last year on the apron, and The Rock will pull him off and say, no, Roman has to win on his own. Then Roman loses, and it starts the downfall of the bloodline. Boom, Dakota, I'm putting that up. There you go. There it is. Right there. That's your answer. If you guys are wondering how this story finishes, there you go. It's a very good take, Dakota. I like that. I like that a lot. Phil says Cody versus Randy at Mania next year and Rock versus Roman would be amazing. Yes, two very important stories going on at the same time. I love that too. Matthew says, I would love to see Cody Rhodes, the champion, having successful title defenses and telling awesome stories. Yeah, Matthew, same. Carlos says his career has been good, of course, but can't call him greatest talent without one WrestleMania Classic match. Again, Carlos, this is all personal. None of it's, fact. All this is just opinionated. That's all. But my personal opinion is that Randy is the best and the greatest of all time. And nobody can change my mind on that. But with all that being said, guys, that is it for me. I'm tired. I'm beat to shit. I'll be talking to you guys later. Love always, man. Boom. That's the one I was thinking of too. Right there, Dakota. Randy versus Taker was a fucking classic. There you go. Boom. I'll be talking to you guys later. Peace.